Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. All things that you put inside the body are chemicals, and the body, it's working every day because of chemicals. Water is a chemical, and the body is working very much from water. Water is hydrogen and oxygen. There is a formula for it. It's H2O. So that's how you know what chemical water is. And all things that come inside the body are different chemicals. The water is such a powerful chemical in the body, and that if you don't have the water, the body is not working. And it's a chemical we use every day, and you don't think about it. How powerful the chemicals are. This is a water with it's a chemical that the body is using, and this is another chemical. It's a soda, and the body thinks of this very much the same. It's thinking they are delicious, and it's helping the body. But they are different chemicals. If you ask for this water, or if you ask for this soda, and someone said, "I have only the one," can you make this water a soda, please? If you have the chemicals, you can make this a soda. If you don't have the chemicals, you cannot make this a soda, never. So we only get what chemicals we have. And if we don't have these chemicals, we don't get it. There is a strong way you can learn this from the world. A vegetable. A vegetable is taking everything from the ground and putting it inside his body. Because you see, when you have a vegetable, it's a small thing. And when the vegetable needs to get bigger, it needs to take things from the ground and put it inside its body. And the vegetable, it can get a big body from the things in the ground. But there is one more chemical that this vegetable needs, and that is the chemical of the sun. And you will think, okay, chemicals are strong. There is chemicals everywhere in the world, but the sun, you can see the sun, but you don't see the sun going inside your body. The sun going inside your body every day is making a strong chemicals. The chemical, it's called ATP, adenosine triphosphate. So this comes like a river into your body every day, the sun in this form, and it's working in the body like money, like you have money in your hand. And the sun, it's a chemical in the body, and it's strong. So strong that when a vegetable is taking from the ground and putting in his body, if he has the sun, this vegetable will get big. And if the vegetable does not have the sun, it will not get big. And you know this. When you are growing, when you are making vegetables, you see this. You see the vegetables that have the sun, they get very big, and it's because of this chemical. It's helping their bodies get big, and it's making life. It's making big life. A vegetable, it's not only having his own life, it's giving life. So, everything we put in our bodies every day, every small thing, it's a chemical reaction happening in the body. And most days we think it's delicious and we feel energy. So we don't think that there is something very different about the chemicals going in the body. It feels very normal. So when you decide anything that you put in your hand, that you're going to put in your body, you know these are chemicals and they are strong. They have a great power. There's the power of life and death in the things that come inside the body. And this power, it's in your hands every day. This power of life and death, it's in your hands, and the chemicals reactions happen in the body. So when you feel good, you can look to the things that come inside. And when you feel bad, you should always look first here. When you feel sick, you should always first look here. There are things that you put here, and you don't know that it's making the body very sick. You maybe don't know this. It can be the food you eat, and then the next day you find, oh, I'm very sick. I don't know why. And you can put things here that can make you not sick anymore. Also, you can do that. If you go to the doctor, you can put things here that it's always chemicals that protect and make everything for the body. The body, it works with chemicals. This is written 2013. In the earliest time of our diet development as a man, we swim in the rivers, and we drink from the rivers, and we eat from the ground. In the early days of man, in the learning of the Christians and the learning of the Muslims, there is a important story about a man. His name is Prophet Yusuf. May Allah be pleased with him. In the story of the Prophet Yusuf, he is the one that in his story many times it's very important the things that he was allowed to take in the body, and in his life, in the story of the Prophet Yusuf, in his life, many times again and again, the story, it's about what's taken in. So in the start, Yusuf, he is the small brother in all very many brothers, and he has a dream, a beautiful dream. The dream is when the brothers hear this dream and the dream comes into the brother's head, it's making something very strong. And the brothers want, this brother is not here anymore. So it's very much about what the brothers come in and that the brothers want out. They don't want this brother in the family. So it's very much about coming in, what you decided that you take in. And then then Yusuf has a new home, and when he is working there, there is a woman who takes in her eyes him, and who wants to take in him. And he says, no, it's not you. I don't want to have this taking in or taking out like this. And because of this, then next he is in jail. And in the jail, there's no food. And it's very much about stopping him from taking in. So in every way in his life, it comes again and again to this taking in and the taking out in the world, from the body and from the world. And then he comes out, and he has a very beautiful job. And in this job later, it's a very important thing that happened. It's a problem in the land, and it's very much about, well, the body, it needs energy, it needs to take in all the time, every day. And so in all ways and all through the life, and even when he is testing his brothers, he puts the gold in the bag and says, you take it. So in every way, it's again and again about the taking, and how important it is about taking in and all the body. In the early time of our diet and development as a man, we swim in the rivers, and we drink from the rivers, and we eat from the ground. In the early time of man on this world, there is a phenomenal plant kingdom on this world, and mankind lives in this plant kingdom. The man, it needs the energy sustenance of the plant, the vegetable kingdom, and it needs its shade from the sun. At the early times of our dietary development, we would have see that there are many things. We can taste them and eat them. Some which would make us sick and die. Some things in the world, if you eat them, they can make you sick and die. And there are some that are giving us a big energy. We would see that there are many species in the plant kingdom, and they look the same. They look on the outside like they are the same, these things in the vegetable kingdom. But the same looking thing, it can kill you, or another one, it can make you live and make you feel good. And they look the same. If the wilderness was like a supermarket of mankind, you would know which you can take in and which you cannot take in. The quality of our awareness toward the taking in is now, in this time, 2022, the most sophisticated it had ever been, because we know the chemistry now, the molecular and elemental components, and we can measure the physiology in our bodies and make the right chemical in our bodies. If we want, we can go and make all of the right chemicals in our body every day. You cannot eat whatever you want and have the same energy in your body. The body needs proportions of nutrients, water, oxygen, which is integral to your physiology. If you experience physiologic conditions of health, you may eventually uncover the source of the disrupted physiology that is not about your genetics. It's not about your genes. It's about the world around you. You would know that when you have a big number of things inside or a small number of things inside taking in, what is the difference? Nutrition and body pH are interdependent. That's like saying the things that you take in, it's making a balance in your blood, and the things you take in, it's making or breaking the balance in your blood. There are three things that make the difference in the blood: the chemicals like nutrients, the chemicals like water, and the chemicals like air. The major nutrients responsible for the alkalinity of the body are sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium. The major nutrients responsible for the acidity of the body are phosphorus, sulfur, and chlorine. The major nutrients one must intake from the diet. There are 22 essential vitamins and minerals that are vital to physiology, and you must take them in from the world. Water, it nourishes the body. Fluid intake may be responsible additionally to the introduction of many vitamins and minerals into the physiologic systems of the body. The inspiration of air, oxygen, is needed for the working, the cognitive function, and the living survival of the cells. Ventilation is necessary to the use of oxygen in physiological systems. Oxygen is a component of the water molecule, and the water, it's 50%, half of the female body, and 60% of the male body, of the man's body. Water is needed for any organism to exist, and for it to stay alive, for it to live. You need water. Water behaves as a medium of transport to the nutritional items for cells and the gas molecules oxygen and carbon dioxide. Water is a medium in which reactions happen, a buffer system, and a participant in biochemical reactions. Water is a lubricant, a cushion, and a temperature regulator. The power of the energy and the life and the sickness and the death, it's in your hands, and then your mouth, and then your physiological systems, your body. And this taking in to the body, it's why 4 energy changes. You put energy in your body every day, and that means that the power of your life is in your hands. Allahu Akbar.